Okay. Here we are. So I have a new toy so that you guys don't have to be subject to any more shaky videos, hopefully. So we are all learning here. So this is Madison Square, one of my favorite squares. And right in the center, we have the statue of Sergeant Jasper. Sergeant Jasper, let's get up to the statue before I start really jabbering. It's a great statue. I just love it. So if you can see, he's holding his side. Let's go to the front. So Sergeant Jasper was born circa 1750. His beginnings are a little murky. There's one story that he is a German immigrant, came over from Germany when he was 16. And then when he signed up for the militia, he could not write. He put an X, and somebody just wrote William Jasper next to his name. And then there's another story that his father was a blacksmith from Virginia who had migrated down to South Carolina. So he was part of a South Carolina regiment. So he was part of a South Carolina regiment that took part in the siege of Savannah, which was in October of 1779. The British had captured Savannah or overtaken Savannah in 1778. There were a lot of loyalists in the southern colonies, Charleston, Savannah. Plus, it's a port. So it was a strategic spot. He died on October 9th, 1779 from a wound. He's here. So the flag fell while they were defending one of the American and French forces, I should say, that were trying to get the city back from the British. The flag fell. He picked it up. This is what you see right here. But alas, mortally wounded and passed away. There's a Jasper County, South Carolina. There's a lot of Jasper places in honor of him. The Americans and French, the siege was not successful, and Savannah stayed in British hands. I came out here yesterday to play with this, and I learned that I was moving way too fast. So I'm trying to be better about it. So that is Sergeant Jasper. So dashing. He was also a hero earlier in the war up in Charleston at Fort Moultrie, where he did pretty much the same thing. The standard fell, and he picked it up and just was a true leader. So now we're going to go around Madison Square. This square was laid out in 1839 and named after President James Madison. So just for reference, we're pretty much in the middle of the city. This is Bull Street going straight ahead. Right ahead of us, you have the Scottish Rite Building. I'm going to do one that's just architecture one day, because I could just seriously just talk about architecture. I love old houses. For reference sake, this little sidewalk that I'm on is roughly, or maybe that one, this square, the British lines went right through this square. So River Street or north is that way. And then the other way we were looking would be south. Confession time. I still get kind of weirded out when I say going up to South Carolina. I don't know why, it just feels weird. So give you a sense of kind of how small the city was. I think there's only 2 other squares before you get to the bluff, which is that way. South, north. Oh my gosh, see? So the city, not that big. Not that big at all. Savannah was founded in 1733, so fairly new. By New England standards, even though we are in the South. So over here, we have, I'm not able to zoom, so I'll walk up to it. The Green Meldrum House. So Sherman's, now we're gonna get into a little Civil War history. Sherman's march to the sea ended in Savannah. The story goes, he came here, the mayor said take the city because they didn't want it burnt. But why would you destroy a port city? And Savannah was an important port during that point. But this is where Sherman was headquartered, in the Green Meldrum House. They've got beautiful gardens. I don't think it's a museum. Maybe it is. You know, I've never done like a lot of proper tours because I've always done things on the cheap. I believe it now belongs to this church right here. So let's do a little, come on. Ooh. Yeah, beautiful church. There we go. I'm getting it, you guys. So this house was built in the 1850s. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. This house was built in the 1850s. I got a gimbal to kind of help with walking and movement, and now I want all the toys, you guys. There's Sergeant Jasper again. We'll do a quick, they do have tours. I should have known. So let's get a look at these pretty little gardens here. Oh, I went the wrong way, I'm sorry. This beautiful ironwork. You know, it doesn't seem like much, but I would not be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at that porch. I wouldn't be mad at this yard. You can go on tours here. Alright, and now let's go kind of zoom or pan over here. So over there is the, oh my gosh, I am brain farting, sorrel weed house. Lord have mercy. Word. So this architecture around oh my gosh, it's hot. Savannah is just gorgeous, and we're so lucky to have so much of it. Beautiful old homes. Most of the homes in this area were built in the 1850s. Sorry, I just went a little fast. I promise I'm trying. So let's walk along sorrel weed. Trying to get a good shot for you guys. So there you go. In one of my first videos, I talked about the pink house. I suspect that this house, being kind of a coral color, kind of suffered from the same effects of the humidity and the red brick just bleeding through whitewash. Because there's a couple pink houses in this area, but you didn't hear it from me. Yeah, just so you know. So this is apparently very haunted. What am I looking at here? Take a tour. We have a beautiful magnolia. Just these windows. I know that was fast, sorry. So this was completed in 1840. Alright, so I'm gonna confess, I am not a slow walker. This is gonna be hard for me. So here you go, Madison Square. I do want to point out, and we'll walk over there.
Yeah, I don't. Would have been like, nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not you. Oh, yeah, no.
It's not her, apparently. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm going really fast. So just to point out, so right over here, so now we're headed east. We're still in Madison Square. And then right ahead of us, can you see where I'm pointing? Boop, is E. Shaver Bookseller. One of my favorite places, privately owned store, and they have cats in there. If you go straight down the sidewalk, you have the tea room, one of the first places when she was open on Broughton Street that I would frequent a lot when I first moved here. So I was so glad to see her back. She used to be in E. Shaver, and now she's moved basically right next door, and I just loved getting tea from her. And that is Madison Square. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Why don't I stop?